Hi, it's Victor here from SecPoint with the weekly IT security news. Welcome. The first story we have on today is about a middle school dropout aged 22 spent 4 years on creating a secure chat program that fools the NSA. Basically, it uses the Tor network to make everything anonymous. Of course, there have been a lot of discussion about Tor, if it is secure anymore, and we'll follow up on that in a moment as well. Then we have here a very interesting story on Apple and Tim Cook. Basically, a lot of folks, a lot of companies are getting very concerned about privacy on the internet, especially after all the Snowden revelations where it's revealed that vendors like Google, when you have a Gmail, they scan through all the content of the mail and then they can map out your patterns, what you do. They can sell specially designed advertising just for you or just for specific demographics on that basis. And that leaves a very high security concern to people. So now Tim Cook is taking a very opposite stand. Some say it's a very big attack on Google, saying that with the new iOS 8 that has come out, especially for the new iPhone 6, iPhone 6 Plus and other devices, that all the data on the unit is now encrypted and Apple do not have the key. So that means Apple cannot look in your messages, cannot look in your emails, for example. Still, there's a very big approach about third-party apps running. Do they leak the information? And also, can you trust Apple? We have seen many times companies or agencies are saying they are not spying. Even the NSA said they are not doing it. They're not spying on the Senate. And then it turned out that, of course, they're doing it anyway. To put more info on the story about Google, there have been reports about, and of course Apple, that they are storing the data locally in China, especially to give it to the Chinese government, the data. Also, there have been job applications in China where they are looking for people that specifically can give data to the Chinese officials and government. So again, the question is, can you really trust them or not? Then we have here another story in this same area here. In India, the parliament, the Senate is now getting concerned about using Gmail and Yahoo Mail in the official ministries because again of the leaking. Will all the data be leaked? Is it already being leaked? And do the NSA spy on it? So a very big chance they will ban those services. Possibly they will create their own service in India to replace it, as we've seen with many other countries doing. We also have a new hacking trend story about very large companies in Denmark and ministries being hacked. In this case here we have biotech companies, we have several ministries, we have the Danish Maritime Authority, we have the Danish Ministry of Business and Growth, and possibly many others we didn't hear about yet. And the new hacking trend is that the hackers get in very sophisticated. They get in via an email, they send in an email with some kind of a backdoor phishing attack, somebody clicks it and they get in. And when they're in, they're very sophisticated, spying on the computer, stealing sensitive information. And apparently it happened in 2012, it has been going on for several years. Even when they discovered the hackers, they didn't block them right away, they simply were checking out what they were doing, because if you just try and block them right away, they might put in backdoors and things like that. So it is a very clear sign that the hack attacks that are happening now are getting more and more advanced. And it is very recommended to have a very strong policy about the IT security. Again, here in the same area, we have a story from Brazil. One of the major newspapers online got hacked. And what happened is, when users were visiting the website online, it was running a script that was hacking their popular ADSL routers in Brazil. So a lot of people go to the website to get the news, and in reality the router got hacked. And the way they did it is they had a small brute force program in the script, and because most routers are running with the default passwords, people do not change the default code in many cases, they could simply hack into the router, install backdoors, open up different things. And without people even knowing about it. So that's a very big thing. Then we also have a story about a Canon printer was hacked recently, and the hackers could launch code on the printer And in this case here, as a joke, you know, they put on a Doom video game from the 90s, the 3D shooter, one of the very, very popular. And the question is, when they can put a Doom video game on a printer, what else can they do? And we are seeing printers are getting more and more advanced. They have Wi-Fi's on them, they're connected to the networks. They're actually a small computer system. And many times you can hack the printer and from the printer launch other attacks on the network, or simply sniff the traffic, sniff everything being printed out, and have a nice backdoor going there. So it's a very important thing you make sure your printers are secure as well. And now we have from last week as well, we talked about the Home Depot breach that exposed 56 million credit card information. A very, very big hack. And it turns out right now they were actually aware of the poor security. There are even former staff there that were recommending their friends not to use credit card in the stores, but always use cash because of the very, very poor security. For example, they had an antivirus from 2007 that wasn't updated, and many other things. Another story we have here is now on Google hitting back on the Apple story, saying the next Google Android system, the version 5, also called L, will also feature encryption. Now the question is about Google, if they will take the same policy, encrypting everything, promising they don't look in the data as Apple has done. And the story, of course, we will see that in the future, how it will go. Then we also have a story about Tor users are becoming FBI's #1 hacking target after a legal power grab. So by doing this, it's getting more and more easy for authorities to go after people that are using the Tor network. You know, some people are using it for hacking activities, other people just want to be anonymous on the internet, concerned about their privacy. But now it is even more easy for FBI to go after the users. So the main question is if Tor can still be trusted or not. There have been several stories exposing the Tor network. Some even say it's the government's behind it. That's why they even make it, so they make it even easier to catch people that think they are secure. So the question is which way is secure? The same goes for the recent story we had about famous actresses putting nude selfies and photos on the iCloud, getting hacked, possibly by brute force attack or leak attack. The bottom line is their pictures got out on the internet. And what can they learn from the story? Never have any sensitive information in the cloud, because you have no guarantee, you have no idea who have access to it or who will get access to it. It turns out also many companies and even agencies, they collect all this data and then they sell it off to third party, for example, for advertising. So it is a very, very big business as well. Then we have a story here by US military contractors in China being hit by the Chinese hackers from the Chinese government. Just in the past 1 year, there was more than 20 breaches admitted to the US Senate. And that can raise the question if the military secrets are so secret, of course, or if everything's being copied, and if they put in backdoors in the software running on the equipments and in the hardware. They can put in special chips, even put in very hard to discover backdoors, and if the military equipment is secure at all. Possibly in the future there will be a lot of focus on this area as well. We have a lot of military vendors here in Europe also, and the question is, are they also backdoored or not? So that's the end of the story today. To get more information, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and please visit SecPoint.tv for more information. Thank you.